Hey, what's up, family? Hey, today we're gonna do another Donald Goines book, and this one, as I said, we're gonna do them all. This one here is called "White Man's Justice and Black Man's Grief." Now, if you just take the title alone, we could pretty much sum up what this book is gonna be dealing with. We know how unjustly the world is with a white man doing a crime and a black man doing a crime, whereas the white man, figuratively speaking, gets a pat on the wrist, whereas the black man, it could be the same crime or less, and they throw the book at him, give him all kind of harsh penalties for the very same thing. You get what I'm saying? So that's what this book is going to be touching on, stuff like that. And with that being said, let's get right into the book. I'll let my daughter start it off with how the book started. We're not going to give you everything, but we're going to touch on some key points that really pique your interest. So how would you say the book started off?
Okay, so the book started off with Chester, which is the main character. He was planning to rob a grocery store because at the time he was poor and so was his wife.
They didn't have the
rent.
rent.
They were going through poverty.
Yeah, they had the rent, they had the bills. They was like, damn,
nothing at all. So his plan was to rob this grocery store. So he's driving on his way to the grocery store to rob it. And of course he has a weapon in the car. And mind you, he already has warrants and like he's already been to prison before. Like this is just nothing new to him. But anyway, he's going to the grocery store. And then as he's approaching the green light, obviously he's about to pass it, it's turning yellow. So now he's hesitating, like playing a game with himself, like, should I go? Like everything is just nervous on the fence with him though, clearly, right? Because he's already like in trouble with the law. So, but of course he decided to take it anyway. And it already hit red by the time he was passing the light.
And what a
coincidence.
coincidence.
As soon as he passed the light, it was a cop on the right hand side. So obviously he gets pulled over, and then once they type in the license plate, they find out the car is stolen. He got warrants.
He got warrants.
Check the vehicle. There's a gun in the car. It's just like, it's getting bad.
It just like, what do they call it? Murphy's Law. It was like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And that's what happened with him, Murphy's Law. It's like, you idiot. You just made stuff worse. Worse. There's no such thing as worser. Remember that, folks, because I used to make that mistake when I was a kid. I was going to say he's going to make it worser. There's no such thing as worser. It don't get any worse than worse. Just remember that, folks, because I remember I was in elementary school. I never forget this. It was Mr. King. One of the days I came to school and I was talking to him about whatever was going on. I said, man, it's worse than last time. He said, well, let me tell you something. Ain't no such word as worser or worse. You kids be running around here talking about things getting worser and worse. No such thing like Chester. It just kept getting worser. No such thing. It's just worse. It don't get any worse than worse. See, he just made things got worse. That's it. No such thing as worser. Worse is. Knock it off, folks. So let's get back to the book. So now, obviously, he gets locked up, and now he's in jail and this and that. You know what else is pretty peculiar, though? How you mentioned there's a difference of county jail and prison. You notice the difference when reading the book, right? Like such as?
So county jail, this is something I didn't know. County jail is apparently terrible. Like it's worse than prison. So like, I was telling my dad that it kind of reminded me of the army. Like I was telling him that I know the government sponsors the military and prisons with basically the same things, but I didn't know like that we do like the same thing. So like with county jail, it's like an open bay, meaning like there's like a bunch of guys in one place. Like we all sleep in here. Like there was even people sleeping on the floor.
That's
like,
county.
It was crazy. And
bloody floor, bloody bed. It's like that's where you sleeping.
Right.
You're like, what the fuck?
And in the military, nobody sleep on the floor, but it's an open bay the same way.
Yep.
And then in prison, you know, you get your own private cell.
Yes.
And the military, when you go to school, you get your own private room. Like it was like the same. I was reading this, I'm like, am I reading the military or jail?
Anybody I didn't know that's been in county jail, you know, you be like, man, y'all ain't lying. County jail, it's like, damn, man. Dog eat dog. It's like you better hope you get sweat or you be sleeping on the floor.
You gotta use the bathroom in front of everybody, shower in front of everybody. It's just bad.
Yeah. So now, so he went through all the county stuff. So now he's actually in prison. How much time did he get? Do you remember?
Prison, he got 3.5 years.
All right, so
and also what I didn't know is the time that you serve in county jail counts towards your time in prison. I didn't know that either.
Any jail jokers out there, they know that. They know. They be like, yo, that count 2 more time here. You know what I used to trip out? Like growing up as a young teenager, I used to remember a lot of my friends when they used to get locked up a lot. Because I wasn't getting locked up like that. I only did detention once. But I remember when they started doing real time, they used to always be telling me stuff that, like I'm supposed to know this stuff. You know, they be talking to me like it'll be me and a friend, and then another friend come where them two did jail time together, right? And they be talking, doing that jail talk where I'm like, it sounds like a whole nother language. two jail, they be like, yeah, man, I got a 365 with a 4 and a possible 9. I'm like, man, what the heck is that? They be like, man, you know, come on, man, you tripping, man. Yo, man, I got a 189, 6 with a 7 and a possibles. I'm like, they talking like this spades. And then, but they said it like this is their time. You know, 365 will be a year with a possible 9 months or whatever the case, and I could get out parole in X amount of time. But if you ain't never been through the system, you like, they talking another language. What the heck? Right. But back to the book here. So now while he's in jail, he's seeing all this other nonsense stuff that's going on, other people that's got locked up, and he's seeing it. And now when he got to go to court and all that, for example, right? He see all the white boys, how they going to court and they getting off for way more violent crimes. Like, for example, I remember the one white boy he got cool with, that they was all in the clique. The white boy had robbed, a gas station or something?
A grocery store.
Robbed a grocery store and shot somebody. Now remember, Chester didn't shoot nobody. He just had a gun and ran a red light. Right. And remember, they had made a bet, and the white boy had said to Chester, remember, he said, oh, man, we go to court, man. I know I'm about to get some real serious time, man. And Chester said to the white boy, he said, man, knock it off, man. They gonna let you go. And the white boy, he was really clueless. He said, you crazy? He said, man, I shot somebody. At least with you, Chester. He said, you didn't shoot nobody.
No, you're talking about Willie, because remember Willie and...
Oh, it was Willie, my bad. Yeah. Because he said, man, you didn't shoot nobody. You just robbed the place. He said, I shot somebody. So I know I ain't going home. And they all looked amongst each other. They said, this white boy just really don't get it. He don't get it. He said, man, it don't matter if you would have killed somebody. This unjustified judicial system, they let white jokers off all the time. And the white boy, he really was clueless. And then sure enough, when they all was chained up and went to court, because remember the white boy, he said, all right, well, I bet you, he betted them a bunch of cigarettes and cakes and all this stuff and the little $3 he had or whatever. He said, okay, how was the bet? He said something like, if
Chester said that if Tony was the white guy and his really close friend was Willie, and they both had to go to court the same day. So he said, if Tony gets more time than Willie does, I'll give you 5 packs of cigarettes. That was the bet. Yeah. And then what happened?
Tony got off.
Tony never came back.
5 years probation.
And Tony never came back to the prison cell. As soon as he saw Willie was happy. Willie was ecstatic. He was like, man, they only gave me 3 years. And he was just like...
They only gave me 3 years.
He was like, well, where's Tony? He was like, well, they let him off on probation. He was just like, but... He was like, man, I'm happy. I thought they were going to at least give me 10. And Chester was upset and he couldn't hide his anger. And he was telling him like, yo, you should be more mad. Like, they let Tony go. And like, but he was friends with Tony, so he didn't want to seem like a hater. You know what I mean?
Now, what that was with Chester, that would be called cathartic. Now, that's going to be the word of the day. As always, you know I love to give you a word of the day. That would be called cathartic. Now, what does cathartic mean?
Psychological relief, releasing
strong emotions.
There you go.
See, and so like you said, Chester was frustrated. He's like, man, it's like another way to explain it to y'all out there using the word cathartic. It's like when a person is going through something really emotional and you see them crying. See, that would be cathartic. It's like this is how they showing their relief, you know, and their stress and their pain, they pissed off, or they yelling, they mad, they all this. That would be very cathartic. And that's what Chester was.
I was telling him that it's relating also to what's going on as well. Like, some people prefer to peacefully protest. Other people choose to riot and loot because that's their way of releasing
their cathartic energy. Yeah. But back to Tony, the white boy. See, that proved, what I liked about that in the book. Like I said, white man's justice, black man's grief. That right there, if you think about it, it proved the point that some, not all, like some will say some but all, some but not all, right? that was a typical white boy who really was clueless. He really didn't realize or think that that would happen. There's a few, not many, but there are a few white people out here that really are clueless to the racist bullcrap in this world. They really be like, nah, that's not true. That can't be true. And you be like, man, you can explain it to them up and down, backwards and forth, and they still like, nah, that's not true. Yes, it is true.
It's not understanding what white privilege is. Yeah, a lot of people don't think that that's a thing.
Yeah. And see, when he went to court and got off, he was like, holy I couldn't believe this. I beat this. Where he knew in his self-conscious mind that there's no way I did this crime. The black guy did this crime. His crime was way less than mine. But somehow they let me go. And they kept me. Guess
what? Willie also had a public defender.
That's another thing.
Tony had the lawyer.
That is another thing. Yeah, true. Money. Public defenders, remember, they are a clergy for the court. They does not work for you. It's almost like a front man. It's a fake. They're not there for your best interest. So you got to get a lawyer. And I've said this many times before. They want you to pay into the system. Play into the system to pay into the system. So, that's messed up. But, another thing I thought was so funny in the book was when Chester had to finally go to court, when his day to court come and all that. And when he was in the jail cells and looking at all the other guys that had to go to court, and he was looking at how they was doing their jailhouse house cleaning and how they was preparing to go to court, how they didn't have an iron, so they had to put the clothes under the bed. People that been in jail, they know how this stuff go. Certain things they had to do to get their clothes ironed out and all that. And he was very cathartic with that because it pissed him off. And he was like, man, these fools just don't get it. Man, they up here worried about coming to court looking all spiffy and clean, and they telling their women to even spend their last bit of money to buy them a good suit to go to court, like as if the judge gonna let them off because they got a nice suit. Man, they get on my nerves. See, that's very cathartic. He was releasing that energy of just something that really pissed him off. You know what I'm saying? And I can identify with his anger of saying, you fools, you think just because you wearing a nice suit that the judge gonna let you off? Man, his racist butt is going to convict you no matter what. That's how he looked at it. And the reason I say I know that personally, because I'm a barber. And I remember many years ago when I used to cut hair in the house, when I used to live with my sister, and when I used to cut in this barbershop in Hillside. I went through that a lot of times where a guy would come to the barbershop and be like, yo, man, I need a fresh cut. I know y'all about to close, but yo, man, you do me this favor, man. I got to go to court in the morning. I need this fresh cut, man. I know you do a good job, man. You do me a cut. I need this cut, man. I just got this new suit, man. I got to go to court, man. And I'm sitting there listening to him like, dude, what the heck? So you really think going to court having a fresh haircut that the judge going to say, hey, I'm about to sentence you 5 years, but you got that nice haircut. I'm going to take 3 years off, give you 2 years. It don't work like that.
Yeah, but you also gotta present yourself in a very classic way. You can't just go in court looking raggedy.
That's the good mindset to have, but the color of your skin is just gonna depict your sentence.
Because of this racist, unjustly.
But still, it won't be judged too bad as far as you looking like the judge will look at you twice.
Good point, both of you. You're right. You like I said, you make a first impression only once, no matter how many other times you try. So you're right. It's like you don't want to go there looking all raggedy, but at the same time, like Chess was saying, man, it don't matter what you look like. This unjustified judicial system, this crooked, they gonna convict you no matter what. So no matter what suit you put on and how nice you try to look, they gonna convict your butt. And he was just real cathartic, like, ooh, like. But yeah, all right. So going a little bit further in the book. You know what that really pissed me off is how Chester, he did a lot of his time, right? He only had 3 months, 6 months left.
9 months, yeah.
He had 9 months left to do. That's it. He was definitely getting out. Definitely. But this way he went wrong that pissed me off, if you remember. Well, she read it recently, so she fresh. He started telling the plans of robbing this check cashing place or food stamp place. All right. He was telling the plans to one of his boys in prison. He told him the whole layout.
But he was very close with him, like years close with him.
And other jokers was listening. He was like, yo, man.
But he would only talk to him in confidence. But the guy, his friend that he was talking to, was a lot younger than him and mature. So he would go blabbing his mouth at the wrong time, just being so unprofessional about the whole
Other
plan.
jokers could hear.
And people, people would hear.
Another guy be like, yo, man, you talking too much, man.
Right, he had the mindset of, oh, we're all in jail. Like, people wouldn't snitch on me. You know what I mean? Just ignorant.
Yo,
like,
stop running your mouth, man. They can hear what you saying, man. And he's like, man, I don't care. But he told the dude the whole plan. But the agreement was, he said, but listen, I'm getting out in 9 months. We could do this together. But the one dude he was telling, that dude was getting out in like, what, 2 weeks or something like that, right?
Well, no, he was getting out like the next day.
Oh, okay. He was getting out the next day. And Chester said, listen, man, I'm getting out in 9 months. Wait for me. Wait till I get out. We're going to do this together. And what this Joker do? He took all that Chester told him and he went and robbed the place. And he just screwed everything up.
A fail. Somebody got shot, somebody died, and he went right back to jail.
Went right back to jail. Not only did, now when he went back to jail and went to court, now he ratted on Chester and said, Chester, this was all his plan and all this. And now when they brought Chester to court and the Rat King, right, they all agreed, yup, this was all Chester plan, blah, blah, blah. And the 9 months that he was going to do, now they what?
Turned into life. Life in prison. Mind you, has a whole wife and kids at home that is relying on you to come home in months' time. And now you're sentenced to life.
That pissed me off.
Right?
That made me cathartic. I'm reading the book and I was like, what?
You know what?
Just on his word? He's not the one that did the crime. This guy did the crime and y'all gonna give him life? Man, I literally put the book down. I was real cathartic, like, yo, this is bull crap.
You know what's crazy though? Because I was reading this as well, the back, and how it says Chester Hines, who thought he was the baddest man to come down the street behind prison walls, he was nothing more than fresh meat. You know what that made me think of? That honestly, okay, he didn't deserve to be blamed for that, but at the same time, you think this prison stuff is a game. You've been here how many times? So clearly, you think, oh, I'm about to be out. I'm gonna do some time, be out. You should have saw him like in county jail. He was telling everybody, oh yeah, you're gonna go there.
He knew the whole room.
Yeah, like he just talking like, oh yeah, like I run stuff around here, and now you got life. So what you gonna do now? So at the same time, I felt bad for him, but at the same time, it's like, you think this prison stuff is a joke.
I like that she said that because I'm telling you, some of my dudes growing up, they was like that. They knew the whole ins and out to prison life. And they would be glorifying it. I'm like, dude, you sitting here talking like, yeah, man, when you go here, you got to do this, you got to do that, man. Make sure you have your package, this and that. Yo, make sure you tell your lady to put this on your books on this day, that day. Like, you know the whole ins and outs. Someone like myself, I would be clueless. I'm like, yo, man, what the hell I got to do? Well, this dude's a professional with this. But obviously, like you said, you knowing all this and you still a career criminal. What is that doing for you?
Yep.
Just stupid.
And then, like, if you've been to prison that many times, you would think that you're smarter at that point. Like, you're in a stolen car with a gun
and warrants
and running red lights.
So, I mean, like, hey, just an idiot. Some criminals just don't get it. It's almost, they just don't get it. Like, remember Fat Boy said that to Martin on the Martin episode? It was an exhibition fight. It was a fake fight. And Martin, for real, like, and he punched the dude. He's like, man, you just don't get it. You just don't get it, do you? But yeah, man, in closing, you have anything you say in closing?
In closing, I would
subscribe,
say...
share, like, and comment. But go ahead.
In closing, I would say, like the book's title, White Man's Justice, Black Man's Grief. I would say, even to this day, like, don't ever stop fighting. Don't think because the justice system is messed up, oh, this is just how it is. Like, never stop fighting, because our ancestors never stopped fighting. It doesn't matter. They died for what they believed in. So don't ever think, oh, things are just never going to get better, or it doesn't matter how long we fight. Like, don't ever stop fighting for your freedom. Like, don't think just because it's messed up, it's always going to be this way. Yeah.
Now, what I would say in closing, not that this is negative or positive, but this is a statement I remember my Uncle Billy said to me when I was about 15. He's a big part of my life growing up. I remember I got locked up as a teenager for something really stupid. And I remember he went off on me. He said, boy, man, I'll just tell you what I got locked. I got locked up for 2 little vials of cocaine I had on me. I was like 14, 15 at the time, whatever. And he when he found out about it, I went to detention. I got out after the week, after whatever. And I remember when he came to see me, he said, boy, are you stupid? You mean to tell me you got locked up for 2 little vials of damn, oh, is you out your damn mind? See, let me tell you something. See, it wasn't like no punishment, no beating, no crap. It was just I was a young kid doing dumb stuff that little kids do. But I remember he said, let me tell you something. You better always remember this. If you're going to do a crime, damn it, you better make sure it's worth it. So if you're going to do a crime, you're going to go to jail, you better be robbing a damn armored truck. You better be doing something that's worth the time your butt sitting in jail. You don't go to jail for stupid stuff. Oh boy, warrants, gun on there, running the red light, dumb stuff. If you're going to do a crime, make it count. If you're going to do, but on a positive tip, so that's the negative tip. But on a positive tip, if you're going to do something with great aspiration, inspiration, make it count. Don't be wasteful with stuff. And on that note, check out a lot of our other videos, especially with all this stuff. There's another great one me and her did called Cops in Your Neighborhood. Great video. We touched on a lot of great stuff a lot of y'all can identify with. But on that note, subscribe, share, like, and comment. And peace.